One shot, now the future is yours. Go.
Hello and welcome to a huge championship edition of the NBL1 Show, thanks to Coles Express. For the final time this year, I'm Megan Hustwaite. You are Pete Hooley, and we have 4 new champions.
Oh, how good. The NBL1 season is done and dusted. We've got 4 champions, which means we should probably have 4 guests. We'll get 4 guests.
Okay.
We'll get a guest on from each
good.
of the championship winning teams. We'll pick their brains about how everything went, how the celebrations went. But what a massive season it's been across the country. Pity we couldn't get the national championship. I think that would have been a nice icing on the cake. But I think we're just glad that we got some champions, considering what's going on around the country.
Absolutely, and I think it's just given us an appetite for next season and an even bigger NBL1 season around the country, and as you said, those national championships. But I like your thinking. I think, yep, we'll get 4 guests on today, a champion from each championship team. But let's start off with NBL1 Central and talk about the 2 champions there as we take a look at the women's bracket. And our champions this season are the Southern Tigers after defeating the North Adelaide Rockets 87-77 at St Clair.
Well, the Tigers did what they had to do. They finished top, they were minor premiers, and they had the target on their back, and they really did well. They got off to a flying start in this one, and North Adelaide came right back, and it was a 10-point margin, but it was a lot closer than this, and I think it was an outstanding game, led by 2 of the superstars that we've had on this show already from the Southern Tigers, and they'd be happy to be champions for sure.
Well, Taj Morel was grand final MVP. She finished the game with 27 points, 16 rebounds and 4 assists, and she's taken it all before her this season. She's actually won everything that's on offer.
Well, she has, yeah, as you said, the Halls medalist, the MVP, the grand final, All-Star 5, absolutely everything. And when we spoke to her a couple of weeks ago, she just enjoyed the whole challenge, and that's what you want to see. You want to see good people succeed, and that's what we've seen in Taj Morel. And her running mate, Morgan Yaeger, was outstanding as well, who we're about to chat to.
Well, yes, she was part of the All-Star 5 in the conference this year as well, and I'm sure it's been a big few days for her as she joins us now. Morgan, congratulations.
Hey, what's up? How's it going? Thank you very much.
Now, has it been a big few days? Take us through how you guys celebrated this championship.
Oh yeah, it's been pretty full on. Well, obviously after the game, we were really excited just in the locker room. We got our t-shirts, got our hats. After that, we kind of went to a pub and just celebrated. Had some drinks, bit of food. Just celebrated with our team, and then from there we kind of just, the team went off and we celebrated. We went out on our own. It was pretty fun. It's been really cool.
Well, it was well-deserved celebrations, and talk us through the game, because it seemed like a tight one throughout. You were coming up against a team that had all the momentum really coming in from where they finished the finals. Obviously, you guys had the target on your back. Everybody had to try and come and beat you if they wanted to be champions. Did you feel that pressure at any point in the game? We're watching the highlights now. You came out with a flying start, and then the Rockets really hit back. How did you feel the game went?
It was honestly what I expected. When we played, I didn't play, I was injured, but the second game of round 2 when we played Rockets, we had pretty much the same reffing team, and again, they were calling lots of fouls, lots of travels, all of that. So I knew that it was just going to be a game of me trying to get our team together and just next play. Just if we can just keep bouncing back from all those rough calls, all of Taylor's big plays, just good big plays, if we can just keep moving forward, we can beat this team over 40 minutes. So that was all I was trying to do, is just next play, next play, next play.
Well, that is exactly what happened, and you played a huge role in it with 18 points, 6 assists and 5 rebounds. How did it feel to play such a pivotal role in the biggest game of the year?
Oh, it was awesome. It was such a great experience for me, and obviously we came out with the win, which is always super nice. But this has been pretty much my first proper season back from a back injury, which I was out for pretty much 3 years. And this is my first season pretty much like being the point guard, like leader on this team, like, and to be able to lead this team to be out like to a championship was like dream come true. It was awesome.
Well, one thing that really stood out in those highlights was the fans. It looked like an electric atmosphere. And at one point in the season, when there was the lockdowns, you just never knew if you were 100% going to be locked into a grand final, if at all, as we know in the NBL1 South, unfortunately. But let alone have stands packed like that with friends and family. How did it feel when that buzzer went off and everybody who was supporting the Tigers was there to enjoy it?
Oh, it was just. I got fouled out. You might have saw me. I could not sit still. As soon as that siren went, I bawled my eyes out. Like I was crying. Like I was so happy, and I was so happy. Like we had all those fans out there to be there supporting us. Because when like tickets were coming out, we were afraid like my family weren't going to be able to get tickets, but luckily it was sorted out. It all turned out great and fine. But yeah, it was awesome. Like SA did a good job, like kind of pulling that together. So yeah.
Well, Taj Morel has achieved everything this season and been an absolute star of your team and competition. Tell us a bit about your on-court partnership with her in 2021.
Oh, she's awesome. She's just like the sweetest, nicest, like humble person. Super easy to get along with, and like we work together pretty well. And like she's always willing to like listen. She wants to get better. As good as she is, she's always like, how can I be better? Like where can I be better? Like what can I do to like help my teammates? That sort of stuff. So I like nothing but great words to say about Taj. She's one of the hardest workers I've ever met. And she deserves everything, like all those awards, like the championship, everything. So, yeah.
Well, you're a champion now. The celebrations have seemed to slow down. I'm sure they might pick up randomly here and there. So you know you're about to go work out. What's next for you?
I'm just going to keep working hard. I have a few WNBL, talking to a few people about WNBL. So hopefully that'd be great if that's in my future. But if not, like I don't care. I'm just going to be working out, like getting better, and I'll be back like next season for NBL1. Like if I play WNBL or not, I'm going to be back next year and just keep wanting to get better. So.
Well, we saw how good you can be in the Grand Final Series, definitely deserving of a WNBL spot somewhere. So we're hoping that comes off. We're looking forward to watching your career. Thank you so much for joining us. And as you said, no matter what happens, you're always going to be a champion now, but we know some big things in store. So thank you so much, and enjoy everything that's coming next.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys.
Let's turn focus now to the NBL1 Central Men's Champions, Pete, and it is the Rockets.
What a story. Coming from fifth, they had all the momentum. They couldn't lose. They took out the minor premiers last week, and they came in and really put North Flames to the sword. And what an outstanding performance it was. It was packed. Both North Adelaide teams were in the grand final, so there was a lot of fans there. Sunday Dech was outstanding, who we're about to speak to. Jack Mcveigh did his thing. Jack Mcveigh had 21 points, 13 boards, 5 dimes. Tobias Dowdell, he had another really good season. He had 27 points and 10 rebounds. And it was close, but it was never too close. North Adelaide looked really comfortable, and as we said, momentum. Finishing fifth, they literally clicked at the perfect time. When you're going to look at how to win a championship, it's clicking at the right time. The Rockets showed that. Well,
before we get to our guest, Pete, how important is that momentum that you can capture in a final series? Because it has skyrocketed the Rockets, really.
Well, it can. It can go one of two ways. We saw with the Sabres and the Men's who finished top and then fell short. You kind of lose the momentum you had at the end of the season. Didn't happen with the Rockets. They knew as soon as they lost, they were out. They got to keep ticking over games. They did that, and they win and become champions.
Well, let's talk to one of those champions now, Sunday Dech. Welcome to the NBL1 Show, and congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, guys.
Well, you played just a couple of games for the Rockets during the regular season, but you came alive for them during the finals. What was it like to experience the ultimate success?
Oh, it was awesome. I think we just had such a great group of guys, and to win one with, my former teammate Jack was awesome as well. Just to talk about, talk with the guys at the club and saying they hadn't won one since 2007. And, I think Jack and I were really privileged to be able to help them get another one, back at the Rockets.
Well, talk to me a bit about the momentum that the team seemed to be having. It looked like a fun group to play with, but you finished fifth and you can't lose. You have to keep knocking off the teams above you just to make sure that you get there. And obviously the win last week against Sturt, who were the minor premiers, was huge. Just talk about the momentum that it looked like you guys had. Was it something that you said before the finals, or was it just everything was clicking at the right time?
Look, I think, the boys had some struggles early on just trying to find their identity and figure out how to play with each other. But then once we had that run, I think we clicked maybe a couple games before the end of the season, and every game was a must win. So we just went into every single game from then on like it was a championship, because, if we had lost one, then we're out. So I think that was kind of the mentality the whole time.
We're taking a look at some of the highlights of the grand final now, and what also stands out is the crowd, how excited they were, people literally jumping out of their seats. What was the atmosphere like?
The atmosphere was unreal. I think it's been a while since, we'd played in front of a big crowd like that because of the COVID restrictions and stuff that happened late in the season. But no, it was awesome. And I think just to see so many people come out and support the Rockets, especially with the women's team making it as well, that was unreal. And, I think once again, it was just so special for the club just to be able to help them bring another banner home.
Now, you probably don't think about this while you're playing because you're trying to do everything to get the win. But you finished with 15 points, 13 assists, 6 steals, and 9 rebounds. Have you had a chance now to go back and think, and I'm sure I can only think your old teammate Jack Mcveigh stole at least one of your rebounds to stop you getting a triple-double in the grand final. It must feel a little frustrating now to look back and think, who took one board from me?
Look, I think when I look back and our coach told me, my line at the end of the game, I was like, oh, wow, I had no idea. I think in the moment you're just playing and you're trying to do everything you can to win because, it's a final. And I think they don't come around too often, so you just have to cherish everyone you're in, whether it's NBL1, NBL, overseas. It's just kind of playing in the moment. So looking back on it, I haven't watched the game yet, but Jack probably definitely did steal one from us. He's got these long extendo arms that steals one from a lot of guys, especially at the Sixers as well last year.
No doubt, no doubt. Now, we know you pride yourself in your defence. You're an elite defender, and you had a big challenge, obviously, against the Woolacott medalist, CJ Turnage. Did pretty well to stop him, and we knew that was going to be a big part of getting that win. How do you go into those games knowing when they've got such a dominant force down one end that you're going to have to put a lot on your shoulders to try and slow him down?
Look, I think it's just the same mentality I have, every year in the NBL as well. It's just, you got to go out there and do your best because I think, a lot rides on it. And if he gets off, then it's that much harder for us to win. So I take it as a challenge and, try to steer him away from the things that he's good at. So it's, you can never really stop him, but you can just slow him down and make him less effective on the offensive end. So no, I definitely do pride myself there, but I think it was just a well-rounded game and he had a great game for him as well. And, I'm good friends with CJ. So we had a chuckle after the game and, he didn't want to face us. I think we're the one team that no one wanted to face in the finals because we just clicked at the right time and kind of got the ball rolling.
So NBL1 Grand Final 1 and done. Your focus turns to the NBL now. How much are you looking forward to the upcoming season? And also you've got a new coach.
Yeah, so excited for it. I think, it's been well said that we didn't have the season we wanted last year. So it's a bit of a redemption year for us. We got a whole lot of new guys and everyone's filtering through now. So we're excited to get on the court together and excited to play under CJ as well. Just with his career and the position he played, I think I'll learn so much from him and I'm excited to get on the floor with him this week.
Well, I'm having a look at the hoodie you're wearing right there and one of your new teammates at the point guard, another Metro State legend, Mitch Mccarron. Are you excited to be able to play alongside Mitch Mccarron? You've seen what he's done around the league. Have you ever played with him before in any other comps?
No, actually. I think Mackay recruited me to Metro. So when I was first talking to colleges, he was calling me every couple of days and just talking about how good it was and his experience there. And then obviously I played with Mackay, who's another Metro legend as well. But, my dealings with Mackay on the court have just been in the off seasons when, I'm in Melbourne and I'm training with him and the boys at United every now and then. But, he's a winner. He's done so many great things around the league and just excited to be able to play with him because he plays the ball the right way and he's just wanting to win. So I think that's kind of something we're willing to instill in everyone on this team this year, just coming in with a winning mentality, and whether it's your night or whether it's not, it's about putting the team first and doing that. So, and he's done that over his whole career.
Well, we're definitely looking forward to seeing how that works in the NBL. And before we let you go, speaking of mentality, when you enter the NBL1 in an off-season, when a lot of people would understand if you want to rest your body after especially a long NBL season last year, what is your mentality? Obviously, winning a championship is everyone's first goal, but what do you want to get out of an NBL1 season personally?
Look, I think a lot of it goes into, who you play for and what their expectations are of you. And going in, Dino our coach was just unreal. He goes, hey, I understand it's your off season. So obviously we were trying to win games, but you need to work on what you need to work on as well. And, he just gave us all that confidence to be able to do what we do out there and not look over our shoulders, whether you're going to get pulled and stuff like that. So just going into it, I think I had some things that I wanted to work on this off season, and, a lot of it I think came, to fruition in the final. So even though I didn't play the whole season, I think I got so much out of it, and just playing with a great group of guys who kind of just welcomed Jack and I with open arms, and, we're able to be ourselves. So I think that goes a long way. And, I think when every game's a must win, it makes it that much more special too, because now, one, you're putting into stuff that you want to put into practice, but also you're able to win those close ones with, some of your best mates.
Well, we've loved catching up with you today, Sunday. Loved your work during the final series. Thanks for joining us, and we wish you all the best for your upcoming NBL campaign.
No worries. Thanks so much, guys. Catch you up soon.
Let's head up to Queensland now and take a look at NBL1 North, and in the women's grand final series. Wow, it was drama and the most dramatic of upsets.
It was, wasn't it? I mean, you've got the undefeated team who coming in with a lot of momentum with the Southern Districts, and we spoke about how hard it was going to be just to beat them once. And in the North, it's a 3-game grand final series. And Logan did it twice in back-to-back games, and you think about how rewarding it would feel and exciting to be a champion. Imagine this right now for Logan.
Oh my gosh, how were the scenes? We've talked about the great highlights and content on social media during the Instagram vision on Friday night when they knocked them off, and everyone just went wild. It was just incredible. And these are the amazing things. There we go now. Incredible. These are the things that we can, we see in finals, just the most incredible of upsets.
Well, it's exciting to be able to do it on the away team as well. So they're playing at home, Southern District, so it's going to be even tougher to get that win. Someone who we're going to speak to, Michaela Khan, she had 27 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, and she dominated in her second game as well.
She did. She was the star of this grand finals series, and we'll catch up with her now. Mikhaela, welcome and congratulations on the championship. What a weekend it was, and have you been part of anything like that before?
It was incredible. I've been asked this question a few times, and honestly, I think it's up there with, one of the most proudest moments of my life and my basketball career to date. So, it's definitely up there. I won the WNBL championship with Townsville that year, but this one really hits really close to home, and this club means the world to me. So, pretty special.
Well, let's chat about the lead-up going into the best-of-3 grand final series. You're playing against the undefeated team who they were the team to beat all year, and you lost one game yourself to them all year. So what was the mindset going in to the first game, knowing if you can get one, maybe they have a little bit of doubts, because both games were extremely close. They were exciting to watch. Yes. But how was the week leading up to it?
I think after losing to them in the round games, we kind of just put a focus towards concentrating on ourselves. We figured that if we can be the best that we can be, the rest will take care of itself. Our character will shine through. And, we kind of just believed in that kind of process the whole season. So, that was pretty much it. Just be ourselves.
You posted a beautiful little pic on Instagram, I think it was yesterday, and the caption was just lovely and so special, talking about what this club and the people mean to you. Can you take us through that a little further about how special Logan are as a club and what they all mean to you and each other? Yeah,
absolutely. It's one of those things that's pretty hard to put into words, but Logan's an extremely special place, not just to me, but our culture and community that we have there is incredible. About 7 or 8 years ago when we got back in the QBL at the time, the guys, Josh Pascoe, Luke Cann, they had a vision in place and it was all based around culture. And and, you know, it's taken a long time. It hasn't just happened overnight, but the people who are involved at our club are just the best people you'll ever be around. And they make it so special, and they make, you know, playing basketball bigger than just a game. And I think that, you know, we recruit people who share that vision and share that love for the game in our club, and, you know, it shines through and gets us over the line.
Well, it was the first season of NBL1 up north, as you said, used to be the QBL, and it looked like it really just became the focal point at the end. We saw the scenes of everybody running on the floor. You were playing away from home, but just to see a packed out stand like that, how has the NBL1 North been overall this season?
Oh, it's been amazing. I think the, you know, exposure, you know, we're now playing in a league that's happening in all states across the country. So just the platform that the league's on now is incredible. I think the NBL1's done an amazing job of, you know, broadcasting and, you know, making NBL1 kind of a focal point of Australian basketball. And then, obviously our crowd is the best crowd in the league. We'll say that a million times. So they made our final away feel like, you know, one of the best home games we've ever had. And we're pretty lucky for that.
Now, you're a busy bee, you're a working mum alongside playing basketball. You've got 2 little girls, but you must have more championships than children now, Mick.
I think we're actually tied at the moment, so...
Now, we were just saying off air, you know, when your eldest, Addie, was a baby, you won the WNBL championship with Townsville. How special, you know, is it having success and having those 2 little girls on the sidelines?
Oh, amazing. You know, I say this all the time about having a young family in the basketball community and just bringing them up around these people in this sort of, you know, in the organisation that we're in, but also just the whole basketball family across the country is, you know, the place where I want my kids to grow up and aspire to kind of, whether it's in basketball or not, they learn a lot from just looking up to people in this kind of, you know, space. So it was amazing. You're right, when Addie was baby when we won that Townsville championship. So she understood a little bit more this time and was pretty stoked for us. So that was cool.
Well, we know anytime you win a championship, the celebrations are always fun and well endured. And you keep mentioning the word family, not just your own, but the whole Logan community. So what was it like to be able to celebrate with everybody? You got your team, you got family and friends. Must have been a really special few days. Yeah,
it was amazing. We spent the night back at Logan basketball after we won on Saturday. We went back to Logan basketball, and Mitch opened up the stadium for, you know, ourselves, our family, and, you know, a lot of key people who have been there the whole ride with us. And, you know, spending that time especially was probably the most special of the weekend, just celebrating with the people who have been there and have made a huge impact, you know, on our program, on our team and, you know, the Logan community. So, yeah, it was really cool.
Now, just back to WNBL for a sec. The Fire have got a mum brigade at the moment with Mia Murray and Michaela Cox. Would you play WNBL again one day? You're a championship winner, as we touched on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, always playing is you want to play for as long as you possibly can. So if the opportunity arose, then we'd, you know, take it into consideration for our family and try and make it work for sure.
Well, we are so grateful that you've come on the show today, and we're really excited for your future. I think we're both just talking off air that we can hope that can come to fruition. We'd love to see you running around, continuing all year round, but we did enjoy watching over you with the grand final MVP. You're outstanding, and thank you so much, and congratulations once again.
Oh, thanks so much, guys. Appreciate you having me on.
Let's take a look at NBL1 men now, and Mackay are the inaugural NBL1 North men's champions. Another incredible grand final series, because it looked like Cairns were perhaps going to win both of these games, and game 2 going into overtime. Again, best of 3 grand final series. It seemed like the home court had a lot to do with this one as well, but just an outstanding performance from Mackay. They're going to be the champions, and as we said, just both games, Deborah George was outstanding, Alex Loughton was outstanding, and there were just stars all over the court. One of those was Jiron Jameson. Take us through his weekend. Oh, he was huge. I mean, he had 23 points, 5 rebounds and 7 assists in game 1. Followed it up with 24, 10 and 6 in game 2, and he was the first NBL1 North Grand Final MVP, and very well deserved. And I'm not sold on the 3-game Grand Final series, just because we've got a lot of older guys and a lot of bodies, and we're going to chat to one of those old legends in a sec who would probably have a bit to say. But I tell you what, when you get close games like this, that's when they really shine through and become a really outstanding thing. So really happy to see both the men's and women's
real close, enjoyable games.
Well, let's head up to far north Queensland now and catch up with Chris Cedar, one of the championship winners. Welcome to the show and congratulations on the weekend.
Thanks for having me. It's been a crazy, probably 48 hours up here, but back to the real world now, back at work.
Well, it was much-deserved celebrations, I'm sure. Talk us through what happened. We know it's a 3-game final series, which we'll touch on, but after you got that job done in 2, what transpired?
I don't know, like in that fourth quarter, I was a little scared that we would have had to go back for that 3rd game, but something happened, like the basketball gods were shining down on us at that time, and yeah, we had big-time plays by guys that are getting their name out in this league now. So Kai Medhurst was big for us, rebounding, hitting some big threes. But I don't know, it's just, I was preparing for that 3rd game almost midway through that 4th quarter.
Well, talk us a bit about how it is. It's a 3-game series up north. It doesn't happen anywhere else in the other comps around the country. So you're leading into a game 1. Everybody's hyped, excited for the grand final. You're coming off single games in the quarters and the semi-finals. So how did you mentally prepare and physically, knowing you could have to play 3 grand final games back-to-back days?
It's a tough one. Like that Friday, you want to give everything into it, but it's all about that recovery too. So we've done this before throughout the year. We've done double headers. We did the 1 triple down to Brisbane. So that Friday night game, you just do have to give it your all, but you, in the back of your mind, you are saving a little bit for Saturday. Then thank God we didn't go to Sunday. I don't know how my body would pull up for that anymore.
Talk to us a bit more about that relief, not just winning the championship, but doing it in 2.
Oh, it's massive. Like, I know those guys and Canns with Al Deebs and Kurt that are getting a bit older as well. We all would have felt it on that Sunday, but I don't know, it was just you just play basketball. Like, we do it as a kid. Like, you'll go 3 days in a row and play as hard as you can in a gym somewhere, but at this big time, it's just, we just found something extra in that last little 4 minutes to not go that 3rd.
Well, luckily you didn't end up going to 3rd because it was overtime as well, so it would have been a lot on the legs. And talk to us about both games, because Cairns really, they took it up to you guys in both games, and it looked like at least one stage, multiple times in both games, you thought that they could perhaps get the nod, but when big plays had to be made, you just seemed to all step up and get them done.
And that's it. They could have easily won this in 2 games themselves. Like, Deborah George and Alex Loudon were just huge for them. But we're lucky we kind of try to clamp down on them, give them hard shots to try and win games or tie it. So, but it's still an unreal feeling at the moment. It's just, we're lucky we had that home crowd. Like, I've never played in that place that loud before, and it's just, we had probably close to 1,000 people just going crazy.
Yeah, we'll touch on a bit about that, because we look around the way Australia's been as a whole this year. We know there's been lockdowns, everyone's had to deal with things. So to get to the grand final, now you're a champion, to win it, but to do it in front of family, friends and a crowd like that, it must be even more rewarding.
Oh, it is. And I kind of had that feeling in that semi-final. Like, once I found out Cairns were beating Logan with about 3 more minutes, that kind of gave me that extra push to get over that line against Rip City. So it was a big for us, like having that 6th man and our crowd is just unbelievable. We're probably one of the best, I say, in our Queensland League.
It has been the first season of NBL1 North. How enjoyable and successful has it been up there?
Oh, it's been huge. I think the biggest thing for us was when we walked out to our shoot around on Friday, we saw that big NBL1 logo, finals on the court. That kind of gave myself goosebumps. Just even being a part of this first season up here, even though it's coming to the end for me, but it was just big, and just seeing how it's going to grow and how we had our NBL, like local Queensland players come back, like Mitch Mccarron came back to play a few games for Northside. That's what is huge for our league up here, and hopefully we can steal some of our more locals to come back and play. I'd love to see him play against Chris Goulding again. I'll put it out there to him to come back. he'd look good in Mackay colours one day. So, nah, it's big. And NBL1, the name of it's just getting huge.
Well, I think we'd all like to see that happen. And you mentioned rewarding, as you said, the older you get, you must feel some sort of pride to be able to go out there and lead a team with these young guys coming through. As you said, making a name for themselves. We know they're starting to get some signatures around the league in the NBL. You must feel pretty happy to see that those guys step on the floor and their game take it to another level.
Especially, I say to them, I'll keep playing until they kick me out of a spot. So... And it looks like it's happening. So, yeah, we had Kai Medhurst come through. We've got a lot of local guys that have actually stuck around Mackay. So we normally lose a lot of our kids to universities down in Brisbane or Townsville, but they're hanging around and they want to be a part of our program, which is the big thing for us and a good thing for me, because then I won't have to keep playing until I'm 40 years old and I can enjoy sitting on the sideline watching them play.
Now, you have had a few big days back at work, though. Tell us where you work and what you do as you give us a little bit of time during your work day.
Oh, so I'm a high school teacher. So this morning I walked into a Year 7 maths class. So I kind of had to find out what they've done for the last 2 days, because I had Friday off work as well to prepare, had Monday off just to kind of get my head back around life again and getting back into normal routine of everything. But yeah, I'm lucky that I do have good students and they know that they all came to me and congratulated me when they saw me at work too this morning.
Well, I'm sure they have every reason to look up to you as well. And I'm wondering some advice that you perhaps give these younger guys who come on to your team and have those aspirations to go to the next level, because sometimes we've seen it can get a bit much mentally and physically trying to really succeed in the NBL1 North, NBL1 competition. And when you try too hard, almost you see yourself going backwards sometimes. What is the advice you give to find that balance to help these young stars prepare for the future?
Just do what you've done all the time. Like, we have young kids in Mackay that they're not taking a step back anymore. They come straight at myself, Jiron Jameson, even Manny Malou. Not so much Harry, because Harry will give it straight back to him, but they shoot the ball with confidence, because that's what we tell them to do. Like, it starts with us. We're the ones giving them that confidence in them. As much as Harry, he wants to get his assist, so he'll yell at you. If you don't shoot the ball when he passes it to you, you got to shoot that ball. But our young guys here, that I've seen around in the league, because I got to play down in Brizzy last year for a little bit, and just seeing those guys, and I've heard all these names, but just seeing that potential that's coming through our league is going to be big. And we saw that with Nick Stoddart winning our Youth Player of the Year here. He's going to be a shining star in our league, and unfortunately, we didn't get to play against Tamari Wigness this year, which I would have enjoyed being one of our Indigenous leaders as well in our Australian Indigenous basketball. Just to get to play against him would have been great for me, just coming towards my end.
Well, Chris, it's been lovely catching up with you today, and we congratulate you on your success this season. I think it's just wonderful that we've got people like you in the league flying the flag up there in NBL1 North. So thanks for joining us and congratulations.
All right, thank you. I did have to wear my ring to school today to show everyone.
Yes.
Fair enough.
That's the best show and tell going.
Yeah, that is. And yeah, my son had his grand final on Saturday as well. So he's got to take it for show and tell. So yeah, it's been an eventful week up here, whole weekend for me up here.
Well, we love that, and hopefully the celebrations can continue a little bit onto the weekend. Why not? You become a champion, you're a champion all the time. Appreciate it, mate. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, guys.
Well, Pete, that almost brings us to an end on the NBL1 show this year, as we have champions crowned in West, Central and North. Unfortunately, our season here in Victoria, NBL1 South, came to a premature end.
Yeah, it was a great season all around the country. I mean, we saw the new NBL1 bandana on a lot of different states. It was really exciting. There was a lot of ups and downs to everybody, but I'm just so glad we got champions around the country. And next year it's going to be even more exciting because we're going to get South back. We're going to welcome NBL1 East, which we're looking forward to. We're going to put it out there. We're going to get the national championship games. We're going to have all of that. And we're just going to keep jumping from strength to strength. But it has been a lot of fun.
It has been so much fun. The action and excitement doesn't stop here, though. Keep your eye on all our socials because we'll have lots of highlights and we'll have news because can you imagine, you know, the player movement and things happening over the off season? It's going to be huge, and we'll be keeping an eye on what you're up to and what you're doing for season 2022.
I don't know if I'll do too much there, but I am looking forward to following all the socials because not only are you going to see player movement in the NBL1, you're going to see a lot of people who deserve those opportunities in the NBL and the WNBL get some signatures to paper. So looking forward to seeing as people's careers continue to thrive.
Well, we have loved bringing the NBL1 show thanks to Coles Express to you every week throughout the season, and it's been a joy for us when we've been in lockdown a lot here in Victoria, and this show wouldn't be possible without a big team behind the scenes. So we would like to thank Julia, Luke, Guy and Darren from the NBL and NBL1 and our amazing team here at SEN that bring the show to you every Tuesday, including Cann, Hayden, Darcy, Nick, Oscar, David, Robbie, Mel and the rest of the crew who has been amazing. All the players and coaches who have been so generous in their time joining us each week. It's been amazing talking to the biggest names around the country in NBL1 and of course our amazing partners which we couldn't do the show without, including Coles Express, Foot Locker, Xena Sport and KO Sports. So Pete, I've loved being your teammate this year. Hopefully we can do it again in 2022.
Looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us, guys, and we'll see you next season on the NBL1 Show.
Yeah, I was building on a lecture. Verses coming daily under pressure.